Torched and looted spaza shops, the last possible locations of 5 children dead from poisoning.
No one came near to compensate us or say anything. Or they at least come apologize and say we are sorry for this that happened to us.
2 months later, no help at all for the Riverlands flood victims. And joining the Mile High Club thanks to an inappropriate movie choice aboard a flight. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
Inside the spaza shops that have been looted and closed, local police in Naledi, Soweto are monitoring community members who are attempting to shut down foreign nationally owned shops. This follows the deaths of 5 children who allegedly consumed chips from a spaza shop and died shortly afterwards at a local clinic on Sunday. This is the second incident of its kind in less than a year. Joseph Sebetwane, father of 6-year-old Monica Sebetwane, who was one of the victims, questions who'll be next.
I couldn't imagine my child will be one of those, but it happened because even on the very first children, we were so hurt about what happened to them. You know, the whole community was all up in arms in full support of the other previous communities, the people there. And now, I don't know. You know, my question is now, whose child is going to follow from here?
Now, 5 inquest dockets have been opened by Gauteng police. Investigations are still underway, with police trying to determine the circumstances surrounding the tragedy. The Gauteng Education Department is also providing psychosocial support to the affected schools. KwaZulu-NATAL police have shot and killed 2 suspects linked to the Hlokozi mass shooting during a shootout this afternoon. 7 family members, including 3 children, were killed at high flats in the Hlokozi area last month. Police say they were following up on intelligence about the suspects' whereabouts when they spotted a vehicle belonging to one of them.
Police signaled for the driver of the vehicle to stop, but instead of obeying lawful orders, the suspects fired shots at police officers, and the police were left with no other option but to return fire in self-defense.
ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula's attempts to rein in Gauteng's provincial chairperson, Panyaza Lesufi, have failed. It's understood Mbalula wanted to charge Lesufi, who's also premier of the province, for bringing the organization into disrepute. Lesufi has been in several public spats, including one with the DA's Helen Zille, after he claimed she undermined the government of National Unity Coalition.
Comrade Panyaza presented himself to the officials of the ANC and provided an explanation that was accepted by the officials. This is consistent with the organizational culture of the ANC, which requires of us to give comrades a hearing when there is a reasonable apprehension that their conduct may place the ANC in disrepute.
One of the small-scale farmers affected by the recent floods in Riverlands, Malcolm Beck, says he's disappointed that no one has come to assist them. Today is exactly 2 months since widespread flooding caused by the collapse of 4 dams at a nearby farm damaged people's homes. Small-scale farmers are said to have lost crops and livestock as well. Malcolm Beck says his aunt is taking the loss of her livestock very badly.
It's not our fault that a place looks like it's a government's fault. We never asked for that to happen to us. Understand? And yeah, life for me is very difficult to see her in that stage where she is now. And for me also personally, I did lose a lot of things. Yes, Christmas coming up, I must now try to rebuild on my own. I don't get help from no one.
Nearly 40 people are still being housed at a church and a community centre in the area, and others are still living with friends and relatives. Embattled Justice Minister Thembi Simelane dodged Parliament today. Instead, she sent her deputy, Andries Nel, to provide a political overview of the work of her department. Simelane is facing increasing pressure from opposition parties to step down amid allegations of impropriety linked to the now defunct VBS Mutual Bank. With less than a day left until the election of a new mayor in Tshwane, the DA says it hasn't heard back from the ANC regarding forming a new government in the metro. The capital city is currently without an executive government following the removal of Cilliers Brink and his mayoral committee last month.
We are still open to say, let's find the best situation for Tswane, the best solution. There are 4 million people. There's a lot of work to be done. We've lost 2 weeks. We've signaled uncertainty to the public. We've signaled instability. Let's fix that, and let's make sure that this does not happen again until the people can vote in 2026.
The ANC leadership has met today to settle on a mayoral candidate. Some international news now. The prime suspect in the disappearance of British toddler Madeleine McCain has been cleared of rape charges in a separate case. Christian Bruckner was accused of 3 rapes and sex abuse of 2 young girls between 2000 and 2017. Reports suggest that the prosecutor's office will be under pressure to refocus on the Madeleine investigation and decide whether to charge him over her disappearance. The British toddler disappeared from her bed in a holiday apartment in Portugal in 2007 and has never been found. And Israel has ramped up its ground offensive against Hezbollah along Lebanon's southern coast. This follows Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's pledge to keep fighting a, quote, sacred war until Israel's enemies, Hezbollah and Hamas, are defeated. Dirty talk and naked close-ups, not what you'd expect to see on a plane, but that's exactly what happened to passengers, young and old, aboard a flight to Tokyo last week. A film featuring sex talk and explicit images was broadcast to every screen. Technical problems meant individual movie selection was not available on a Qantas flight from Sydney to Haneda. This left the crew to pick one film to be broadcast to the entire cabin. Their selection of Dakota Johnson and Sean Penn's racy drama Daddy-O was a surprise to many and to the airline, which has apologized. That's it from us. We'll see you for more again tomorrow.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.